Let's spill that tea. Humble tea it is. Welcome back, guys. It is episode 3 of Humble Tea. So, this episode's going to be about Once Upon a Time. I guess spoiler alert. It's not, new anymore. It's been out, but if you're, in the middle of watching it, spoiler alert, maybe. I'm just going to kind of talk about it. I won't, maybe go into detail too much to not give anything away, but I just want to talk about it and my thoughts and the little, I guess you could say, spin-offs or I guess one's not a spin-off, it's the next season, but I don't see it as season 7, but that's the whole thing we're going to talk about. But yeah, probably maybe next week will be Nashville, because I'm almost done, but I'm kind of sad about that, so I might try to take my time, because I'm only on season 5 and there's 6 seasons. I went through that very fast, but then I could talk about it. I don't know, but I'm sad. Just like I got sad when Once Upon a Time was over and I was trying so hard to watch season 7, and then I was trying so hard to watch the other one, because I didn't want it to be over, but then, also, I was like, but they're happy, so I'm happy about that, but, so, lots of emotions, but, yeah. So, maybe I'll be talking about Nashville, maybe I'll be taking my time, it'll be in a couple weeks, maybe I'll be talking about it a little bit of what I know, and then once I finish it, so maybe we'll have 2 episodes. Who knows? Also, games. I don't know. Give me suggestions, guys. Comment down below. Tweet me. Whatever yeah, give me some topics. So, yeah, Once Upon a Time. So, if you don't know, Once Upon a Time is an ABC series, that was started... Let's see. Oh, it started 2011. It did? Okay. It started 2011? Okay, anyways. So, it started in 2011. So, it's the basic, Disney, or basic, fairy tale, Disney princess story, story tells, kids stories, Snow White, and, they even, when it came out, they introduced Frozen into it, and they have, Hercules, and, they have, all the different, fairy tale, story tale, all that, Jafar, and Aladdin, and it's, all the princesses and stories, but with a twist, and, mixed with, real life. So, the whole concept is that, part of it's the feud between Snow White and the Evil Queen, and the Evil Queen just wants her happiness. She wants revenge on Snow White, because, Snow White's done her wrong, and all this stuff, and, the apple didn't work, she got her true love's kiss, and all this stuff, so she finds this dark curse, and what it does, it sent them away from the enchanted forest, the story, to, when they're just stories, and it put them into the real world, where it put them in this little town that's called Storybrooke, and, they're, stuck, and, mundane, and they're all miserable, and the queen was, the mayor, and she led them, and it was she's the only one with the happy ending, and, and it goes on for a while, there's, defeat her, the whole thing, good always wins, and, even Regina ends up getting her happy ending, but, putting aside the evil, and, learning a lot of things, and then you kind of learn that, this thing didn't really start with Regina, it was, it goes way back, and goes back, and it's, further, and stuff like this, but also, that, to unbreak the curse, so then they start realizing who they are, they had to have a savior, and so Snow White and Prince Charming have a baby, and Snow was supposed to go in the tree, and then that she would be with her or be with the baby, and be with the baby, and then in 28 years or sometime, then she would be there and she would break the curse and they would win. Right? So then there's this whole thing. Snow can't go, and Emma has to go by herself. Yeah, I already said she, so yeah. And well, actually, she didn't technically go by herself. Pinocchio went, and it's this whole thing, like, she's stronger and stuff like that. And it's like, that's what I would have loved to see in a season 7, is like maybe a what if episode, what if season. I think that would have been cool. Like, what if Snow would have went with her? What if they both, or there's this one you find out later on in the series, that there was a time that they actually, Snow White and Prince Charming broke it, and they got to see her, and she was like a little bit older, and they could go and meet her. And so I always thought, what if they went through the closet, they met her, and like then they went back to Storybook or something for her to defeat it. I don't know, how would that have gone? But that would have been a lot. But yeah, so season 6, all, like I said, it all has spiraled from the very beginning. And, once that was defeated, everybody's happy. Emma's finally, she's good with her parents, and she's married to Hook, and, her and, and Henry, Henry's, finding who he loves, and trying to figure out his story as the author, and, Regina is happy and stuff like that, so it ends very happy. But then, as it sees in a cliffhanger, that then there's like this little girl that goes, and it's like, it ends, season 6 ends as season 1 begins, but instead of Henry going to Emma's door to get her with the storybook and to get her the storybook and take her to Storybrooke, it's a little girl going to Henry, like aged up Henry, and she's like, I'm your daughter. And so then season 7, it's about Henry, which, okay, I love the concept. Let me just put it out there. I love the concept. I love that Henry is getting his time to shine. Henry's older, and, Henry can be, well, I mean, he's always been the main, but, like, it was, like, about Emma saving and remembering and stuff, so it's a lot, like, Henry had a major part in that, but, like, it was Emma's story. So, like, I love the concept of having Henry and, about him and stuff like that, but, like, I don't know, the fact that, like, it was, like, almost identical, like, the same story, and then, like, because it's, like, there's, like, French Cinderella, Spanish Cinderella, blah, 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 like, all the different stories, English Cinderella, blah, 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 classic, whatever. So, it's, like, that, it's, like, this is the other, I think it's, like, Spanish Cinderella, and so, it's, like, the same stories, but in differently, slightly different, in, different cultures or something like that. Different culture. So, slightly different. And so, I tried a couple of times. Like, I did it, and then I made the mistake. I went to IMDb. I wanted to see what people were doing. Okay, look. When I read, like, reviews and stuff, I read it with a grain of salt, because what I like, you may not like, a lot of people may not like Snow White, because, I mean, she goes through a lot, but, like, I've always been told, I'm like, kind of like Snow White, like, my voice can be very high and stuff like that, and I don't know, and, like, Ginnifer Goodwin, she's cool. I think that's cool, too. The one that plays Emma is Jennifer Morrison, and then the one that plays Snow White is Ginnifer Goodwin, so it's, like, Jennifer and Jennifer, just Ginnifer Goodwin, spells it with a G. But, and also, Snow White and Charming are married in real life. Josh Dallas and Ginnifer Goodwin. So, that was really cute. And I really loved them, and they were cute together. And I love Snow and Charming. And, like, yes, Snow did some stuff that bugged me, but I love Snow and Charming. I love Emma and Hook. I love Regina and Robin. Regina is just so badass, and she's cool, and, you know, and I love Henry, and I'm, like, getting off topic, but anyways, like, you know, we all like different things, okay? But anyways, I made the mistake. I looked at some reviews. I was seeing what some people were saying. So then I was, like, watching it again. I was like, you know, like, the character, like, they're supposed to be, like, Henry's love interest, a little bit older. I don't know, like, it just, I didn't feel a connection. Like, Cinderella, like, the girl runs off, so Cinderella, Cinderella, you know, her daughter runs off, and she's, like, going in there, and she's just, like, I forgot, Stacy? I think it's Stacy. I don't know. She's like, Stacy, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill that girl. So, I don't know, like, the acting is just, it's just, like, it is the same, but I'm like, oh, and, like, I know you can't, like, keep the show going on forever, because it's like, you want the happy ending, but it's like, you know, the drama is what keeps the show going. So, but anyways, but, like, I love the concept, but I don't know, like, I couldn't, like, from the beginning of, like, season 1 of Once Upon a Time, like, I grab onto the characters. But Nashville, I hooked on, like, right away to the characters, and I just, as much as I love Henry, you know, but, like, obviously he's older, so it's not the same character, but as much as I love the character of Henry, and then, like, they have Lena Perla, the one that plays Regina, Lana, I'm probably butchering that, I'm bad with names, but Lana is in there. She's like, I think she's Regina, or not Regina, I don't know, but she's like a bartender, so, like, that was kind of cool to see her, but, like, it's not Regina, so it's like, well, you see Regina at the beginning, because, like, Henry's, like, leaving for college or something, he wants to explore his story, and stuff like that, so then, like, he uses the portal to, like, go to the, like, other stories, Enchanted Forest, whatever, so, like, he goes into the other versions of the stories, blah, 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 I'm like, blah, 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 but, yeah, so, like, that, I don't know, and then, like, the stepmom, and Cinderella's stepmom, like, I don't know, like, there was, from the beginning, there was just something, like, Regina, like, she took charge, like, Regina, she took charge, she knew what she wanted, she knew what she would do, like, you knew the story, you hooked on, like, maybe you were mad at Regina, but, like, you also loved her, because, like I said, she was badass, but, like, you know, like, maybe you feel bad how she was with Henry, and she, you know, acted like he was crazy, and she didn't believe him, because he was saying that all these people in Storybrooke are Storybrooke characters, and she doesn't want people finding out, so she has him go to Dr. Hopper, go to her shrink, and so, you know, so, I don't know, it didn't feel like I said, it felt like a spin-off. It did not feel like connected to the series. Like, okay, so, there's Once Upon a Time, and then connected, because I think it's like different people, but, like, it was still kind of connected. There was Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, and so that's kind of like, I guess you would say, a spin-off, right? But season 7 also feels like a spin-off to me. Like, it feels like it's Henry's story, it's a spin-off. It feels totally detached. Like, yes, you see at the beginning, you see when Henry's, you know, younger, like, when we just seen him in season 6, he's a teenager, he's like 16, 17, he's something like that, he's a teenager, and so, at the beginning of season 7, you see him when he's young, and he's talking with Regina, and then he goes off, right, and then when you go to season 7, it's like you see that, but, like, even kind of Storybrooke looks different than it does, like when they come out of the mayor's house, and there's, like, these other houses that, I don't know, just the look of it doesn't really remind me of how we've seen Regina's house. And I don't know, maybe it changed after that. I don't know, but they never mentioned that. So the house just looks different. So I'm like, okay, is it a different set? Did we change here? And that's where I'm saying that, like, so, and then, like, they go to, so there's, they're cursed. They're stuck in Seattle. But they're actually stuck in this little town of Seattle. And, like, it's a cool concept because, like, the stepmom even, instead of keeping them all in this little town, you know, all together and not in the real world, right? She actually is trying to move them all out so then they're away. And so, like, I really wanted to like this because I'm like, it's a really cool concept, right? And I feel like I'm repeating myself. Anyways, you know, like, I mean, we did see in the original, well, besides, like, Emma, she lived in the real world, Pinocchio, and, Rumpel's son, Neil, and then, like, Corella and Ursula, and Corella or Ursula, Maleficent? Yeah, Maleficent. They all were there as well. They went there. So, like, they had been in the real world too, but just, like, the concept, it was slightly different. Like I said, they weren't trying to keep them in Storybrooke. Like, there wasn't a curse that was, like, bound and, like, you couldn't leave Storybrooke. Like, and, like, no outsiders. You know, besides, for the most part, no outsiders could come in. No outsiders could come in. But, like, in season 7, she's trying to get them out of this little neighborhood, move them, and get other people in, and stuff like that. So, that was a cool concept, but, like, I couldn't connect with the characters, and I feel so bad. Like, the little girl was adorable. I thought she was very sweet. It was just like, you know, Henry going to the door in season 1. But it was just, I don't know, it was almost painful to watch. And it felt so disconnected from the series. Like, from, you know, to be, like, it felt like a spinoff. It didn't feel like season 7. So, you know, like I said, if it was gonna be something like that, maybe do like a what if season, but like to me, the series ends at season 6. Season 7 is a spinoff. And then you go to Alice in Wonderland, which I was kind of going back and forth when watching season 7 to this, and which I love Alice in Wonderland because when I think it was the rabbit, he was trying to get back to Wonderland, and he goes through Storybrooke, and, like, you see like, Grumpy, and you see, I think it's Red. No, not Red, because she's in Oz. But you see some characters, so, like, you know them, and, like, it's, like, it's very much like a spin-off. It's like, okay, these aren't, you know, the Storybrooke character, but, like, you're in Storybrooke, so, you know, like, it collide. Like, it was a good, you know, collision show. So I was like, oh, yes, and it had that vibe, like how it was starting with Alice, and, like, first she was little, and she's coming back, she's telling her dad, and then she's older, and she's, in the mental hospital, and they're, like, talking to her, and the way they're talking to her, and all this, like, I got it, like, I was sitting there, and I was getting the Once Upon a Time vibes, and I was happy, and just, it kind of derailed a little later, but, like, I don't know, I kind of want to go back to it, but I don't know, I couldn't really get connected. Like, at first I did, but then it, like I said, it kind of derailed, and I was like, I don't know. But, I don't know, like, that, I guess my point is, that almost felt like that was a season, that almost felt more of a season 7 than season 7, because, like, you know, they had the Storybrooke, the same, like, Storybrooke, and, they intertwined and stuff like that, but, like, not really. Like, I don't know if they go back, or, you know, it's just that one time, but, like, there was still, like, Grumpy was there and stuff like that, and then they go to Wonderland. So, but it felt like a spin-off. Like, it could stand alone. It could very much stand alone, and that's what it is, you know, it's Once Upon a Time in Wonderland, but, like, also, like, you know, it could stand alone, but, like, yeah, I don't know, it just, I love the show, but those two, it was like, I don't know, like, I really wanted to get to it. Like, I even heard from a friend that, like, she really liked these two characters. I was like, okay, I gotta give this a chance. But, like, I was just sitting there, and I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. But then I was just like, I'm not getting sucked in, and I don't know. It's like that rule of thumb. Like, if you're not into it within a couple minutes, it's not happening. So, I don't know. I tried a couple times, but, and I don't know, like, it just, and kind of the whole story of, like, Henry going there and then leaving, I don't know, I was very confused about it, and what was going on, and just that whole situation, and then Cinderella, and, like, she was going to kill the prince or something, and that was crazy, and I got very confused, but let me know your thoughts. I would love to hear your thoughts. It's a lot. But yeah, I love it. I would love for people to watch. You know, I don't want to give too much away. I may have, but I want you to form your opinions, and maybe we'll break it down, you know. But, you know, I love, you know, the back and forth, and, you know, and you see little pieces, and then it's like, you know, way later you find out, oh, this is what led to this, and it's just like how so many things of this is how this went, so it kind of leads to this, and, you know, how this one acts because of this situation, and, you know, like I said, there's Tinkerbell, and there's Neverland, and also there's, okay, so speaking of Neverland, they changed up that story, and Peter Pan isn't really the hero. I mean, Hook is still Hook, you know, until, like, later he meets Emma and stuff, and he wants to be good, but Hook is essentially, he's a villain, you know, he's not a good guy and stuff like that, until later on, he meets Emma, and he wants to do better, you know. All villains aren't totally evil, you know, they have some good in them, it's just whether they want to change, you know, or it shows, you know, Snow White had some darkness in her heart for some things that she did, and, you know, maybe she thought she was doing it to, you know, protect her child, or protect, you know, her family, or her kingdom, or something like that, but maybe it could have been handled in another situation, but she was desperate or whatever, so she had a little bit of darkness in her heart. So it's like, we're both kind of evil, like, you know, no one's perfect. The heroes aren't perfect and totally, you know, pure heart, you know. We do some stuff, we screw up. And I guess that's what I like about the show, is like, it's not like, oh, the villains just always lose and they're evil and just, they can, you know, do no good, but it's like, oh, the heroes can do no bad, like, you know, we're all tempted, and so I really like that part, and, you know, and also, I liked the kind of twist on Peter Pan, and he's not so much of a good guy, and it's, because I always liked Neverland, because it was like, I grew up on Hook, on Robin Williams, movie, and, you know, it was like, they're all eating, and they're all pretending there's like this massive feast, and they're all playing, it's kind of like Wonderland, but also it's like, you know, there's the Lost Boys, you know, they were taken, well, in Once Upon a Time, they were, like, taken from their families, and so then they can live forever, you know, be kids, and, because Peter Pan won this, like, clan, because he was looking for the heart of the truest believer, because that's like how he stays young. And that's also something that kind of irritates me or bugs me, is like, okay, so when we get to Neverland, we find out that Henry has the heart of the truest believer, right? But it's not really mentioned later. Like, later he becomes Arthur, but, like, is it because, like, he was defeated, and then maybe it's not exactly, or it's because he's older, so maybe it's not the truest believer? I don't know, but, like, it was never mentioned after that, and I don't know, it was kind of confusing, so, but that's something. But I love this, I love, the good times. I love seeing the good times with, like, finally Snow and Charming got to see their daughter. It's sad that, like, they missed all this, but, like, everything happens for a reason, but they're there for her, and then they have a kid later, and it was kind of cool, because, Snow was just Mary Margaret, before the curse was broken, and they were friends, it was like they just hit off right away, and they were really good friends, and then it's like, they told each other things as friends, and then they learned, oh, we're mother and daughter, because, like, technically, now, because of the curse, they're, like, the same age, so it's kind of weird, but, like, I don't know. Snow has, all the memories of life, so mentally, she's the right age, but physically and looks, she's the same age, so, yeah. I don't know, it was a very cool show, and I have a lot to say. I'd love to hear what y'all have to say, but I think that's it for now. I might do, like, a part 2, gather my thoughts, but that's some stuff I just really had to get out. I know I repeated myself, but yeah, it's an interesting show, keeps you on your toes, and I don't know, it's got its funny moments, it's got its, like, sad moments, it takes you on a whirlwind of emotions, and just, it keeps you locked in, until you get to season 7, but, I mean, who knows? Watch it, maybe you will love season 7, maybe you do, let me know, I don't know, maybe it's just me, but, well, I know, Haley, you said that you can understand that, so, thank you, I'm not alone, but, yeah, anyways, yeah, that'll end today's episode of Humble Tea. So give me your topics. Tell me what you think about this show. If, any other shows you'd like me to review, games, anything. Give me some topics to talk about. But yeah, until next time, that's all the tea.